Hello there. Thank you so much for joining me again. Welcome back. Please take your time to read the caption and the description of this broadcast. Share it, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends too. So I titled this, The Ox Are Gathering Again. The Ox Gathers. As it is the custom, the politicians, well, starting with the leader, thinks about tomorrow. But the politicians, they think about the next election. They said the leaders, real leaders, they care more about the next generation. But you see the crooked criminal politicians, they care more about the next election. However, in Nigeria, it is business as usual anyway. Share this. Today, thank you so much for joining me again. So, our gist, our enlightenment continues. And thanks to those of you who probably joined us during the Sunday sermon earlier today. This is the continuation, you will say. Yes, the northern political influencers, let's start with them. They have been heads over heels. The moment the video and images of Atiku's contingent or delegation were seen visiting Buhari in what is now being termed as the rallying together of the northern power bloc against Tinubu. But we'll come to that. Let me show you that trip, like in detail, sort of. Atiku in Katsina, including Daura, today.
Atiku Najeriya muke wa fata, waza ya ja da baradin sauyi, kasar mu albishir goro babu yajin aiki in Atiku shi yake mulki alhajin Allah babu tsadar abinci in Atiku ne yake mulki
ina muke tafi Atiku Najeriya muke wa fata waza ya ja da barbin sauyi kasar mu za ta sha gata
albishir goro babu yajin aiki in Atiku shi yake mulki alhajin Allah babu tsadar abinci in Atiku ne yake mulki
ina muke tafi Atiku Najeriya muke wa fata waza ya ja da barbin sauyi kasar mu za ta sha gata
albishir goro babu yajin aiki in Atiku shi yake mulki alhajin Allah babu tsadar abinci in Atiku ne yake mulki
ina muke tafi Atiku Najeriya muke wa fata waza ya ja da barbin sauyi kasar mu za ta sha gata
albishir goro babu yajin aiki in Atiku shi yake mulki alhajin Allah babu tsadar abinci in Atiku ne yake mulki ga abun gani amma a ba idan kowa ba aike da hankali amma ba na kan kowa ba aike da ilimi amma ba sanin kowa ba aike da fikira ba fikira ta kan kowa ba gagarin zuwa jirgi ba zai iya a kai igun ba ga abun faɗi baki ba zai iya kurici ba ga abun faɗi kalma ba za su sa ga abun gani amma a ba idan kowa ba aike da hankali amma ba na kan kowa ba aike da ilimi amma ba sanin kowa ba aike da fikira ba fikira ta kan kowa ba gagarin zuwa jirgi ba zai iya a kai igun ba ga abun faɗi baki ba zai iya kore cewa ga abun faɗi kalma ba za su sa.
Sorry about that sound. That's how it came, so we have to use it that way. So that's Atiku in Katsina, where it was led by the state governor. You know, APC, Egbekegbe, they lost Katsina State to PDP last year. And in fact, those who worked to help manipulate the same charade in northern Nigeria, the key among them, right? They have been quite disappointed. So put it this way. This whole thing about North versus South in the political language is not really about the people of the North or the people of the South. It is primarily about who gets what in northern Nigeria and in southern Nigeria. Then you can then look at the categories of people that are speaking up against them, so you can know from where they are coming from, okay? So when it comes to this northern element that helped falsify, intimidate, harassed people just for call loose unverified figure to be defended, especially the arrowhead, El Rufaya, the man that made U-turn just within 24 hours after they've already sealed Tinubu's fate. What made him make U-turn, nobody knows, right? But he did, and he went all out to defend Tinubu, only for him to be disgraced during the ministerial nomination. And since then, he's been written. But for a flashback, when the going was good, the people you are going to be seeing with Atiku, right? They are going to be coming from this background of some of them who kind of feel like left out by Tinubu. And I'll tell you the new agenda.
It is Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and by the grace of God, the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. When the northern APC governors met one Saturday evening and took a position that we insist that in our party, power must rotate to the south. We did so out of the understanding of our sense of history. We always ask ourselves as northern governors, what would Sir Ahmadu Bello do in the circumstances? What would Tafawa Balewa do? What would Aminu Kano do before we take a position? Because we are the inheritors of that legacy. The 19 northern governors and the Minister of FCT are the direct inheritors of the legacy of Ahmadu Bello Sardauna of Sokoto, Allah ya masa rahama. We are conscious of that burden of responsibility, and that is why when we debate to take decisions, we have these illustrious sons of northern Nigeria as our reference point. And we took that position without regard to the interests of some people who insisted that after 8 years of President Buhari's tenure, he should be succeeded by yet another northerner. We felt as northern governors that this is not in our character. We are not like that. We are people of honor and justice. This is what our grandfathers did. This is what our parents, some of whom are sitting here, did. And it is our duty to protect the sacred word of any northern politician. When we say we will do something, it doesn't have to be written. We do it, we deliver on it, and that's how we started the process of delivering Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We are confident that with the collective support of all of us, with the directed wisdom of our elders, with the energy of our youths, and the compassion.
Despite all of that, they still couldn't deliver Tinubu, and Tinubu knows. He knows what played out. Save for Yakubu. Charlatans like Littlefinger, they will have nothing to brag about. But let's pretend that they actually delivered. Littlefinger was also defeated in Kaduna State. By their result, right? Atiku won Kaduna. And Atiku also won Katsina, the two states of Buhari and the Littlefinger. So for some reason, even within the Kaduna state itself, right, there were those who have been on the side of Tinubu without the Littlefinger's knowledge as well. And when it was time for them to play their card, now they are at it as we speak. So Littlefinger has managed to speak just about 2-3 days ago. So he said, you see that Shehu Sani, no, not Shehu Sani, Uba Sani, the Kaduna puppet, is supposed puppet, but now on the side of Kolu. Anyway, so Littlefinger said the now Tinubu's puppet, Uba Sani, that is disgrace, will be so loud, and he should be counting his days. That's his response for all this financial misappropriation, corruption. However, within Tinubu's government, he has been very, very good to northern Nigeria too. I'm talking about their northern class. And I'm putting even the middle belt in the old basket as we speak, because politically, that is how they kind of, when it is politically convenient, you know, middle belt is part of northern Nigeria for this jackass. When it comes to the economic protection of the middle belt people, then the Fulani terrorists are always having a field day in their murderous jihad campaign. Remember? So I'll put them in the basket because I'm talking about their political class now. The secretary to the government of the federation is from Benue, George Akume. The defense minister is from Jigawa, the former governor of Jigawa. What's that his name again? Badru. The one that is his junior minister is this illegal gold miner or gold trader, a terrorist sponsor, Matawale from Zamfara, I think, yeah, from Zamfara. So Patawale is the Minister of Defense for states. Badri is the Minister of Defense. And more people have been kidnapped and killed in the last 1 year that they have been in charge. I don't know what they want. Maybe it's because of the central bank. Because for 8 years, the Central Bank of Nigeria became the piggy bank for the political elites of northern Nigeria and their associate from southern part of Nigeria. From the news I read yesterday, they said that the court has forfeited about 12 billion naira worth of properties traced to Emefiole. Emefiole was the former central bank governor of Nigeria. So they all took care of themselves. Nigerian Central Bank became their piggy bank. Family members, side chicks, boyfriends, girlfriends, father, mother, everyone has their own chop there, including Dangote. So maybe now that they now have the Oduduwa, Emefiole, Kadobi, as well as Sewale Idun, who are now the policymakers and the thieves who are now running things. And just under 1 year, or maybe within a year, the Northern Nigeria's agenda right now is that for equity, fairness, and justice, the Northern Nigeria wants the power back. So they are so deluded that they actually believe that they have the number that made Tinubu the president, yet 18 months. Where are we now? June. Shouldn't that be like, okay, let's say 17 months after the conclusion of Nigeria's 2023 charade elections? If you go to the INEC website, out of 177 or so polling units in Nigeria, ladies and gentlemen, the result from all of this, the result they announced, if you go to the INEC website as we speak, less than 70% of it has been uploaded. And guess what? If you begin to click the result, even up till now, you will be seeing the images of people who took selfies. And these were the result of some of the polling units announced by Yakubu. Mr. Yakubu. So that is part of the illusion of this northern Nigeria. And, they think they actually have the number that made Tinubu. They are still not yet kind of come to the reality that nobody voted for Tinubu enough to make him president. Not those they considered as their followers. The northerners that enjoyed the Muslim ticket. The Afars that were preaching in their mosques. They actually still believe that to become president of Nigeria, you don't need the East, you don't need the West, you don't need the North, you don't need anybody. You need INEC. That's all. Whoever wants to go and vote should go and vote. Anybody will get any control over anything, anywhere. The people where you say you get control over, now go and get them to go and vote against Tinubu. Like, use that deluded. So I'm saying this to all of you as well, who are also thinking, maybe coalition can remove Tinubu. Now, listen, I'm not saying coalition can remove Tinubu. Don't get me wrong. Are you with me? But there are two things you need to know. Okay? And these are facts. Okay? That you can't really dispute. So the fact number one is this. especially you, the obedient, watching me right now. Fact number one is this: you do not have what it takes to remove anyone planted or put in power by the establishment. You do not have that. Why? Because they set the rules. Okay? The moment they set the rules, you would have to play by their rules. And you can't win. That's number one. That's number one factor. And because you can't do it alone, okay, you don't want to be with those who have stolen Nigeria money, those who have looted, those who have destroyed Nigeria. You know them, you know their names, you know their faces. So, if you want a new Nigeria, it has to be people who have never been involved in any way, destroying Nigeria to this level. That's a tough one, Abby. But let's just assume that you would agree with me that that's going to be a very, very tough one. So look around the 774 local government areas of Nigeria, and then expect somebody or a group of people that, have never been part of, That is why everyone who decided to join you as obedient, like the APC, let's be honest, their sins were forgiven, remember? Once you, your sins are forgiven. Like that of, what's this guy name? Kenneth Okonkwo. I even have a clip of him I'll share with you later, but that's, I'm just saying. Now, that means you would have to accommodate some rotten people who probably will tell you they are now changed people. That is called coalition. Their sins would have to be forgiven for the sake of one Nigeria. No be so? Now, that simply means if you now have coalition, it will be coalition of supposed good guys surrounded by the same horrible people that destroyed and divided Nigeria. But you would have to pretend that they won't divide Nigeria anymore. They won't destroy Nigeria anymore. They will be good people. Like, you have to pretend that they will be, right? Just so that mentally you can be able to handle how you have to praise Atiku, defend Buhari and others, because they would all have to come together to rescue and save you from Tinubu and gang. Do you understand how that plays? Yeah, that is what is called coalition. Some of you are still going to abuse me. Now that 1 or 2 years now, you're going to abuse me that I don't understand. And I will be here. I'll say, okay, it's all right. Yeah, you would have to. Maybe you want to rescue Nigeria. You would have to admit the rogues, the criminals, the state governors, the senators, the reps that you know very well, their position now, even before now. So you'd have to say, but they are trying to rescue Nigeria. Not for you. It's going to be for themselves, but they need you. So you see, these two facts cannot be disputed. There is a solution, but we'll get to that part. Okay? So the likes of Atiku and gang, as we speak, they are making it look more like the northern Nigeria has been left behind because some people there too who anticipated another life entirely after Buhari, they are not living that life. There are people who are still in the captivity of a terrorist, too, no doubt. There are people who are still robbing trucks, meat truck. They are still there robbing, grain trucks for food. They are still everywhere. They're like even poorer. But the real reason behind this regrouping is not because of them. The agenda now is for equity. fairness, and justice. The power has to return back to northern Nigeria after 2027. No, by 2027. Because according to them, since this demonstration of madness or demonstration of grace started in Nigeria, the southern Nigeria by 2027 would have been in power for 17 years. And that's unfair. The northern Nigeria has only been in power for just 11 years. Baba, you are from southern Nigeria watching me. Can you tell me how